The Toyota Corolla, the little crown here, sees a number of changes for the 2023 model year. The biggest change is going to be the fact that you can now get all-wheel drive in a hybrid powertrain. But this one here is the gas-powered version. This one sees a slew of changes as well. So we're going to go through those as we go here. And of course, we'll go through exterior, interior, and I'll tell you what this thing has been like to live with for the last week. Let's go ahead and take a look. First off, one of the big changes here for the 2023 model year for the gas-powered Corolla is the fact that the L trim is now completely gone. There are only 3 trim levels. You've got the LE, the SE, and the XSE. That's going to be your luxury edition, your sport edition, and your extreme sport edition. Not exactly super aptly named, but the styling is pretty sporty. This is the XSE trim level here. And those are going to start you right around 27 for this one, which is a pretty nice price point for this kind of package that you get here. So here for 2023, this color is brand new. This color is called Underground. It's kind of a brownish, grayish, depending on the light. And actually, it's got a black roof going on up here. That's a $500 option that you can add to a number of the different colors. It's a little bit strange when you add it to a dark color like this, because honestly, if it wasn't on the Monroney, I probably wouldn't have noticed it. But it is nice that you can do that option for some of the other colors and get some good contrast going. There is another new color. I'm going to use that in quotes, new, because it is Midnight Black Metallic, replacing Black Sand Pearl. So it's black replacing black, new-ish. And we're sitting on a nice compact 106-inch wheelbase here with these new, for 2023, graphite 18-inch wheels. These are a really nice look here. And these are going to be on the SE and the XSE. If you're in that base LE trim level, and you're going to be 16s with steelies. You can option alloys on those, but the base comes standard with steel wheels. And the 16s are probably going to give you a little bit better ride quality, but we'll talk about why that kind of evens out. That ride quality evens out on this trim level when we get to the driving portion. Got these heated mirrors with the LED turn signals in them and blind spot monitoring. Note that that blind spot monitoring is not actually standard. The Toyota 3.0 safety system is, but for some reason blind spot monitoring is not part of that, but you can option that on the other trim levels. On this one, the XSE trim level, it is standard though. And that same goes for the moonroof up here. That comes standard on this XSE, but that would be an option if you're in one of the other trim levels. And we do have keyless access no matter what with the lock on the outside. And for some reason, it is beeping at me. I don't know why. It's been doing that about half the time, as if the door's open or something, but there isn't a door open, so I'm not sure why it's doing that. And then inside to unlock. Up front here is where we're going to start to see a lot more changes for 2023. Got the gloss black trim around here for the upper 2 trim levels. This new mesh black grille going on here. A little more gloss black up there. The redesigned headlights here for 2023. Note if you're in the LE, you do not get the redesigned headlights, but you do get daytime running lights, LED daytime running lights in that trim level here. We've got the full LEDs with the updated look. Fake vents, like I like to say, fake vents for fake air. This price point, it's not doing much, but it's adding to a little bit of the flare. No fog lights down here at all in this 2023 Corolla. At the back end here, we're going to see some more of these 2023 changes. The subtle deck lid spoiler going on here. This is the dark colored one in this level. The SE is going to be body colored. The LE, this will not be there at all. Like the red kind of pops for the Extreme Sport Edition badge. Not so aptly named, but it is a nice little pop going on there. And the new diffuser here, the gloss black diffuser here in the SE and XSE. And we've got the dual tips down here in the LE. That would just be a single tip going on. These tail lights back here are LEDs. Those are supposed to look like the eyes of a bird of prey. I don't know that I fully see that. That bird is into it, I guess. And we've got the dinky little key going on here, which had a little bit of weight to it, but simple. And we've got the hold to open for the trunk here. That pops open into 13 cubic feet of space. It looks actually pretty massive. It looks bigger than 13 cubic feet to me, but that's going to be about on par with the Mazda 3 sedan. The Civic is going to give you a lot more space. Well, we've also got the 60-40 split back there, and we've got the spare and the jack down underneath. That and the backup camera right there. No sensors up front. I got to mention that. No sensors or cameras up front in this Corolla. Go ahead and hop inside. Hopping inside of this thing, you got the Pippi Longstocking seats going on here, but they are pretty comfortable. These are the soft tex. That's going to be like a synthetic leather, basically 6-way power adjustable for the driver, 4-way for the passenger. They're bolstered nicely. They feel comfortable. No issues with the seats at all, and they're heated up in this trim level with a physical switch, so that's going to be a sticky setting, just a high and a low, so that's nice to have there. Gotta talk about the gloss black, because if you've watched any of my other videos, you know how much I hate gloss black. It just gets dusty and fingerprints, and even up here, we've got around the speaker up there, there's a little bit of gloss black. There's no reason anyone should be reaching up there, touching anything. You just look at it and there's fingerprints on it somehow. But at least it is kind of minimal-ish, I guess, going on. Got it going up in here and around the gear shift all over here, and some in the door. Not in the big swaths like in the Kia, but it is around, and it is definitely not my favorite choice. But overall, the cabin does look pretty nice for the price point. I did swear an oath when I decided to start reviewing cars that, I have to knock on all the materials, right? That's like a journalist thing that you have to do. Well, I mean, it's a sub $30,000 car. It does have hard plastics, especially this big protrusion over here, but some soft surfaces as well. Whatever, it's fine. You're not going to be rubbing your hands all over it while you're driving. Leather wrapped steering wheel, leather wrapped shift knob. The steering wheel is laid out nicely. Buttons for all your safety stuff, your infotainment, easy to use, comfortable, manual tilt and telescope. And since we're in the XSE, we've even got the paddle shifters, even though it's a CVT, and your auto high beams over here on the left. HVAC controls are all manual knobs and buttons. Great to see that. Actually, let's turn this on real quick here so that we can take a look at the infotainment after it stops beeping at me. Infotainment has been updated here for 2023, which is awesome because it matches the system in the Lexus, like the ES300H that I was in just a couple weeks ago, which is great. It's a nice system. It's easy to use, simple, 8-inch screen that is across the board, and it is miles ahead of the old Toyota infotainment system, and it's even got wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. It does take a second to connect, but not really a huge deal. One thing I've noticed actually in the Toyotas and Lexuses that I've been in, when you shut off the car, usually the music stops, but in this one, it doesn't. The music keeps going until you open the door, so that's pretty cool. And this one does have wireless charging as well. I love mixing wireless charging with wireless Android Auto, and the wireless charger is up here in the front, out of sight, out of mind. Now, that wireless charging is part of the package with the JBL sound system. That's going to be your 9-speaker JBL system with the amp and the sub. It sounds pretty good, actually. It's not top-level sound systems here, but if you're an audiophile, you're probably going to want to get that one over the base 8-speaker system. And that's a $675 option to get the speakers and the wireless charging. No, with wireless charging with Toyota, sometimes is a little bit iffy. It can kind of cut in and out a little bit, but I haven't had that problem with this system. It's been pretty consistent with the charging, and it works fine with my phone case. It does get a little bit warm. Got our drive modes down here, shifter down here, when you go into drive, your doors lock. You go into park, they unlock. Pop it into manual mode. The only time this car will ever see manual mode in its entire life. And auto hold feature, electronic parking brake. We do have another USB-C in here. There's a USB-C up here and one in here, as well as a 12 volt. Got the cup holders down here out of the way, and this actually even slides out. Even with this extra large coffee and the straw sticking up, it's still out of the way, so that's always nice. Heading into the back seats, a couple more USB ports, USB-C ports, no vents or anything back there. It's a nice tight 34.8 inches of legroom back there. I fit okay because I fit in everything at 5'7". My kids are a little bit tight back there though. My son, he's only 3, he's in a forward-facing car seat, and his feet are getting a little bit closer to my seat than I would have preferred. But he does have a little bit of space there. He's not rubbing the seat or anything. Rear-facing seats, if you had some rear-facing seats, it'd be a little bit more of an issue probably, especially if you're any taller than I am. And for comparison, 34.8 inches of legroom, like I said, if you're in a Mazda 3, that's going to give you 35.1, a little bit extra legroom. Civic is a bigger car, still a compact technically, but that's going to give you 37 inches of legroom. So, space for days in that one, but you're buying a bigger car in that situation. The gauge cluster here is the full 7-inch digital gauge cluster here in the top spec. If we were in one of the other 2 trim levels, then we would be looking at the 4.2 inch. Now, I'm not usually the biggest fan of what Lexus and Toyota do in the gauge cluster area unless they give you analog tack like last year in the UX. But the color choices of the layout in this one are not too bad. We've got lots of information in here. We've got this nice big tack going on. It's digital, but I always like seeing the big tack in the middle. But your safety features, you can see what your music, your drive info. You can update your safety systems in here. You can turn off your lane departure, your blind spot monitoring, all of that. Note that this does have something new called Proactive Drive Assist, which we'll talk about in the driving portion. I would go in here and turn that off immediately. And it's got your traffic sign recognition in here as well, your speed limit, whether you're in a school zone. It's doing a great job at picking up what signs I've been passing. Oh, and sunroof up here. One touch. No place for a garage door opener. You're gonna have to negotiate a couple bucks off so you can buy a clip to put that up here. All right, let's go ahead and take this thing for a drive. All right, so driving this thing around, we have the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. It's 169 horsepower, 151 pound-feet of torque. Totally fine for the daily drive. Not really having any issues with power or anything like that. It's not a speed demon. When you're merging on the highway, the CVT makes some angry noises, but it does get the job done. No real issues. Compared to the competition, you've got the Mazda 3 with 186 horsepower, 186 pound-feet of torque. That one will get you moving a little bit quicker. If you go into a base level Civic, that one doesn't have quite as much power. That one won't move quite as quickly. When you add the turbo trims of those and the competition, that changes things. But as far as a base level engine to base level engine, the apples to apples, this one is right in the middle of those two. Now this one also has a CVT, but the way Toyota does it, they have like a first gear basically to get you off the line, and then they have the CVT kicks in after that, and it's fine. Now I don't love CVTs particularly, but for this type of car, it's efficient, it works great. Not really a huge problem unless, like I said, you're trying to merge on the highway fast. It makes some angry noises at you, but it does get the job done. And the Civic is also going to give you a CVT. The Mazda 3 will give you a 6-speed automatic transmission, a traditional torque converter automatic. And we are running through the front wheels, which again, the competition is also going to give you front wheel drive here. If you're worried about snow, throw some good tires on, no big deal there. And In terms of ride quality, it actually rides a lot nicer than I expected. Before I mentioned that we've got the big 18-inch wheels as opposed to the LE trim level, which would give you the 16s, and I said those would ride a little bit better. But the thing that the SE and XSE get you is the multi-link rear suspension, whereas that base level will just get you the torsion beam, which means that basically the back wheels will bounce up and down together, give you a little bit worse ride quality, whereas here with the multi-link independent rear suspension, they can kind of bounce evenly as they hit holes and issues in the road. So your ride quality is going to be a little bit better here. So I'm guessing that's sort of a wash, but maybe with a nod to this trim level in terms of ride quality. But like I said, overall ride quality, it rides a lot better than I expected it to at this sort of price point. And the steering is nice and light, super easy. Gives you a little bit of resistance to the point where, you know, it feels like you're actually doing something, doing a little bit of work, and it responds well, but it's very, very easy to steer. Now, because we are in one of the sport trims, we also get an extra mode here. This one, you normally would just get the normal and the eco mode, but in this one here, we do also have a sport mode. Doesn't really make a big difference going between the three modes. I haven't noticed a huge difference. In terms of fuel economy here, I've been averaging about 30. It's rated at 31 city, 40 highway, 34 combined. I've been getting about 30, but I haven't really been easy on it exactly. And I've been doing a pretty good mix of city and highway. So that's still pretty solid when, like, you know, 30 and I'm not even trying. Another big thing for 2023 is we have the Toyota 3.0 safety systems now. So this was something I thought was a little bit weird when I was in the ES300, and now I'm confirming that here, like even in this Corolla, the lane centering is actually a lot better, because this one seems like it's actually a better system than that 300. So hopefully they'll update the safety systems in the ES soon. The lane centering does work really well in this car. No issues with that at all. The adaptive cruise has been good. The one thing that I have not liked, it has this proactive drive assist feature now. Which kind of like tries to look out and be proactive, exactly what it says. But when you start to get close to someone, if you have that turned on, even if you're not using your adaptive cruise, it will start braking for you. And that was just such a weird feeling the first time I felt it, because I wasn't like super close. It was, you know, 3 or 4 car lengths behind someone on a side road. It wasn't anything dangerous, and the car would start braking a little bit, and it sort of felt like when you're in an EV and you do the one pedal driving where you let go of the gas and it just starts to brake for you. It's a very weird sensation, so I turned that off. Luckily, it's very easy to turn off. But like I said, the rest of the safety systems work great. The blind spot monitoring, the adaptive cruise. We also have traffic sign recognition on this one, and it recognizes everything. Like, it's showing me a no U-turn sign right now. It shows you the speed limit. It tells you when you're going through a school zone. It really has been very good about recognizing all sorts of signs. And when you are going over the speed limit, it's not super in your face about it. You know, if you're going 51 and a 50, then your speed limit will turn red. It's not super intrusive, super invasive, but it does give you that indication. So that's a nice little touch. Now, noise-wise, it is a little bit on the loud side in here. Like I mentioned, the CVT when you're merging on the highway, but also the road noise, the wind noise, a little bit loud. It's not, you know, it has been very windy this week, which I'm sure has contributed to that. But Toyota says that, you know, the interior is a sanctuary with a bunch of sound deadening and stuff. It's not, it fits for the price point. I'm going to say it's not like oppressively loud in here, but it's not quiet by any means. At the end of the day here, we have the Corolla doing what the Corolla does best. You know, it's kind of their tried and true formula here. Affordable, efficient, gets the job done. It has really, you know, it's exceeded my expectations in a number of ways in terms of ride quality, in terms of, you know, the safety features. Other than that, that proactive drive assist thing, the updated infotainment is great. That is a huge update. Back seats have been a little bit tight for the kids, but it's been working out. So really, overall, it's been a great package for, you know, we're talking under 30 grand. I would prefer not to have a CVT, but other than that, I really don't have any complaints here. I like the updated styling, especially these big 18-inch wheels. I'd like to see those on a car where the color of the car doesn't match the wheels quite so much. But, you know, overall, I've been really happy with this thing, and I see why people go for them. For sub 30 grand, something that's just gonna run, comfortable, easy, reliable. Can't go wrong. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to stick around for next week. Hit the like button, tell your friends, tell your mom, tell your friend's mom. See you next time.